Hello and welcome to the Black Mind Games Podcast, episode 285. I have nothing to talk about this week because I ended up working on the video game this week and hating my life. Joining me this week is Josh. How are you, Josh?
I've also been working at work and hating life. Although work is not too terrible.
Okay, that's good to know. So we have a very special guest this week all planned. I was going to bribe her with the promise of video games that her sexuality could enjoy. I was going to buy her Honey Pop. I was bribing her with video games and the promise of Honey Pop. And of course, this plan absolutely blew up in my face when she said I have D&D. So instead, we got Ben. Ben, would you like a free copy of Honey Pop?
No, because I did play that game and I don't like it.
Why did you buy it?
I didn't buy it.
What?
I was going to buy it live on the episode.
Oh, like, for fuck's sake, man. I thought you bought it, then you're going to, like, prance it around going, like, yeah, you want this. I'm like, what? Why would you? Why?
Why would you do this?
Why would you do this?
I played, like, the demo or something, and I just was not thrilled with...
You don't want to play a sex game where you can look at repressed sluts and feel like a terrible person?
I mean, is Honey Pop a sex game? Can you really call it that? Besides, like, you do a puzzle or something. I don't fucking know.
It's a match 3 game.
Wow, that makes me even more wanting to play this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hang on. Let me do /sarcasm so everybody knows.
Yeah. Ben's very /sarcasm right now.
Oh my god.
To be fair, we could do worse. We could buy
here's the thing.
Necropara.
If I'm gonna go through the effort of like wanting to play an H game, I'm gonna play something like Necropara because that at least like has like maybe a story to it or something and like whatnot. Like I love VNs. Like VNs are cool. That's why I love Persona so much. But like I played the Fate series, the Fate Stay Night, that one, the VN of that one, I played it maybe like 20 hours. So I mean, just give me a good VN instead of whatever the fuck Honey Pop is. Also, like, all the girls on Honey Pop are just not, like, interesting to me at all. Like, I mean, they're barely attractive.
Skanks.
And then their personalities, I didn't like any of them. I didn't like any of them.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I'm just saying, I just wanted, some fresh meat for the podcast. I mean, honorable guests for the podcast.
God damn it. No,
my God.
Shut up. Oh, damn it.
I wasn't trying to be a dick or anything like that. I mean,
Or sexual.
that's hard for me.
Yeah, totally.
Christ. I also see what I've been reduced to. You're like, we couldn't get the girl, so we're gonna get the black guy, and then we're gonna forcibly bring him into this.
Wait. Hold on. I have to do an Alan. You're black?
Oh,
That's still my favorite moment of the show. Alan just going.
Wait, what?
Wait.
hold on.
Wait, what? Hold on. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think I really blindsided him with that one.
That makes no sense.
You can see that. You can hear the 512K modem just go computational quantity 0. What the hell does not compute?
You hear the stupid grinding noises, and you're like, you hear the grinding noises in his head, and then you're like, oh, now he gets it.
Oh, okay. Ben is like my favorred person in the world because like he will say the same things I will say, and then
Don't put that pressure on me.
No, no. Okay, you will say something, and it will be less retarded than I will say, and people will have the same reaction of when I say something stupid. Only it's a lot more it's a lot nicer the way that you say things, I'll say. And then they'll be like, "Oh, well, I disagree." And then you'll be like, "That's nice." And then like 20 minutes later you'll say something else and they'll be like, "That's racist." And you'll be like, here's my trump card." It makes my day.
What did I say that was racist?
I don't think anyone's ever called you racist when I've been around. Talking about that, my life has mirrored drama this week in the masterful state of the world, and God has given me the greatest gift in my lap. It's almost as if I believe in something called the Great Magnet. The Great Magnet. So Gina Carano, who is the most amazing person ever on the planet Earth, got canceled this week from her show in The Mandalorian. To put Gina Carano, which is kind of the reason why I wanted my friend on the show, because she is a woman and she is somebody who has a differing opinion. And I figured as if having somebody on the show with a differing opinion would be healthy and perspective. I also wanted Ben on the show just because Ben kind of has similar opinions to me, but we disagree on some things. I will say that. Yeah, Gina Carano got canceled this week, and then like an angel saint, or like a phoenix, rose from the ashes and joined the Daily Beast, I think it was.
Daily Wire, I think, is what it's called, with
Daily
Ben Shapiro
Wire.
or whatever.
Yeah, so she's now part of the Ben Shapiro gang. Which,
I mean, good for her. She gets to have her own, movie or whatever. So, like, congrats. But I mean, I like the duality I've been seeing on like Reddit and stuff about this, because there's one side that's like, Gina, she did nothing wrong. She was expressing opinions or whatnot. And then the other side is like, she's just a racist fuck. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, how could anything of what she tweeted be considered racist? And even like her older tweets, like some of them are a little spicy, but like at worst, I'm like, she's just memeing a little. You know what I mean?
the richest man in the world is a meme lord. Surely we can do worse than what Gina Carano was saying.
Exactly. And like, and the other thing is like, then you look at Pascal, I forget his first name, the lead for Mandalorian, he literally linked the same meme except directed in a different way. And it's like,
so
are you hypocrites or are you just blind?
Well, Disney is hypocrites because they support Chinese concentration camps. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, that. But then it's just like, the thing is that like is he links a concentration camp relation to America with the whole like border shit that we had like last year or the year before.
The border shit that's still happening.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
Let's
I mean like
that.
when it really popped off is what I mean.
We still have children in cages.
She related fascism to Trump, and it's just like, but when you stop and you think about it, it's like she has as much of a valid point as much as Pascal does, but they don't fire him for his political posting and his political beliefs, but they do for her. And then they pull the whole like, let's celebrate all women's birthday when it was in Star Wars, but not James Earl Jones, not the black guy in Mandalorian, not like all these other people that are just as important, if not, but they're just because they're men.
Oh,
so it's like, where's your line? Like, I get that like he drank the Kool-Aid. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, man. I'm so confused.
It is so interesting right now that you bring that up, because the truth of the matter, the fact is that like what she got canceled for was a very real statement. was maybe a little too real for a lot of people. And what she got canceled for was basically saying, "Don't hate thy neighbor."
Yeah.
Okay, that's not a fucking issue.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a really big disconnect between, I don't want to say the culture left, but there's a really big disconnect between the left and the right, where I don't want to say the right kind of seems to act like as if they know a lot of things, but the right seems to understand the rules of the game a little bit more than the left does. They understand that the enemy is not the left. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the right now is sitting there extending hands out saying, "Hey, join me. We can fight this together."
Okay, that's in some ways I get what you're saying. But at the same time, I feel like the right is only now willing to do that because of such a huge loss for them.
Yeah.
Because their party is so split, because their party is in shambles, they're now suddenly like, okay, I guess now we have to. Because they would have had a chance to like regain their or like reconnect their party if like Trump had won again. Because then they would be like, oh, Republicans are still in power, blah, blah, blah. But then again, like at the same time, like now that they've literally lost, they're losing power in both the House, the Senate, and they lost the presidency. And the only thing they kind of have left is the judges. They're systematically losing power. So I feel like the only reason they're even considering associating with liberals is because of the fact that they've lost all their power.
Yeah. Well, that's what's needed. Is we need to have a more conversation-oriented view. We need to have the left and the right communicating. And
obviously, yes, but I feel like that they're only doing it because they feel like
because of
lost.
what happened. Yeah. Oh no, they absolutely did. Like, but the problem isn't the thing that Gina Carano is saying is that she's saying this vitriol, this hatred that's on both sides needs to stop. We need to have a conversation, and that is something that's kind of the reason why I'm going back to the person I wanted to have on the show. That was the reason why I was trying to bribe her with a fucking video game is because it was like, hey, your voice matters. I want you on the show. I think it will be interesting. Okay? These conversations, they're important. They're healthy. They make people better. And it's funny because it's like, realistically, the same thing is happening right now in my personal life, and it's like the person who literally just said, "Hey, don't do this," literally got canceled for it. And it's fucking hilarious to me because it's like we have gone so fucking far down this rabbit hole to the point now where it's like there is no way that we can win. There is no way that we can. There's no unity that can bring us together. We have to either start forcing the conversations to happen or something else along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, do you have an opinion on this, or do you?
So you're telling me Yoda's not gay?
Yoda is totally gay.
Okay.
Yoda is the only species in that series who can reproduce asexually, so he can have as many dudes fucking him as you want. They can be dudes with. They can be girls, dudes with boobs, or dudes with.
There's supposed to be a female Yoda, and that just never happened. Apparently.
Mm-hmm. Can Yoda have an ex-wife who just sits there and just constantly is screaming at him? Yoda,
no.
I told you to take out the trash. Jedi Council is very important.
Oh,
stop talking that way, Yoda. You sound stupid.
I don't like where this is
honey
going.
butt.
You don't like where this is going?
I don't like where this is going.
You don't like thinking about a female Yoda who doesn't talk like Yoda does?
Well, the thing is that there was a female Yoda in the lore, and they just read it out.
Yeah, Yarl or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if they wrote her out. I feel like that was just like a kind of like a book thing, I guess. I don't know, man.
It probably was.
I want to say they tossed it out the fucking window because they're like, nah, who needs a race that needs to both genders?
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. They'll figure out their story lore eventually.
I mean, the story lore of
Have you
not
seen?
going to figure
Have
it
you
out.
seen the High Republic? I don't know, man.
It's all fucked, man. This Star Wars is dead.
Star Wars
Kathleen
is dead.
Kathleen Kennedy killed it, much like how EA killed Mass Effect. Right, Ben? Right?
I have selective memory when it comes to Andromeda.
I want to live stream me and Josh playing through that game, so Josh could sit there and just watch the pain and suffering just stem from my soul, and then he can sit there and be like, just constantly poke me and just be like, "Hey, remember when you said this won't be that bad? Hey, remember when you said this won't be that bad?"
It's like
I'm just
it's like how I have selective memory for the sequels. It's like they're bad, they don't exist to me, and all that lore I just ignore.
Well, that's what I do.
I just, man, the more I think about like fucking Star Wars and how much they fucked up, I just think of the most pinnacle fucked up thing about Star Wars is more of the video games, of how fucking George Lucas literally walked into the room, pointed at two different characters and said, "These are friends now."
This is a Boba Fett game.
And that literally ruined
This is a Boba Fett game now.
Yeah, or yeah, that shit too. It's like,
Wait,
you
which two people
literally-
were friends that you're talking about?
It was Darth Maul and someone else. I can't remember. But it was like literally, they're like, "But George, these two people are from completely different timelines," and yada yada yada. And George was like, "I'll just do it." And it's like, of course, no one could say no to his face, so they did it anyways. And they did somehow make it work, but it's like, Jesus Christ, like he actively killed games because his decision of like, "Wow, do this," it ruined the whole thing.
Game designers would notoriously talk to George Lucas, and George Lucas would say, "I want this instead of what you're doing."
Exactly. And it's like, and no one had the guts to say no.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, fuck off. George, you don't know what you're doing. Thank God you're not in the helm anymore. Although there's probably other people who still don't know what they're doing. Yeah, I'm just sad that fucking whatever, was it 1313 or yeah, that battle, that thing never happened because George was an idiot.
Mm-hmm. George is a fucking idiot.
He's a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the only thing of the, like, I just, every time I think about fuck ups from Star Wars, that's the main thing. I was like, we could have had a good game and he said something stupid and then no one can reboot it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, fuck.
But at least we have Mass Effect. And EA still doesn't understand what to do with Mass Effect.
They still don't. In fact, you know what's even sadder is that because of the Fox News controversy, they even canceled a bunch of fucking storylines from that game.
Wait, so Fox News killed Mass Effect?
No, Fox News killed storylines because they're like, "Oh no, transgenderism is bad. Get rid of it."
Oh no, we can't have.
Which is so asinine because I thought it was such a non-issue. Because like when you first heard about it and everyone just pointed and laughed and go, "That's not what the game is." And then freaking the company went and turned around and fucking canceled a bunch of shit. It's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like fucking, I hate it. You can tell I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we can.
Ben, how do you feel about the Legendary Editions?
For Mass Effect?
Yeah.
I am hyped. I never thought I would get a chance to see Mass Effect remastered, let alone, this soon, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I thought BioWare was like, after Andromeda and what was the last thing they put out?
Anthem.
Yes, after Anthem and Andromeda both flopping, I was like, "There's no way they're gonna put any time into Mass Effect. Mass Effect isn't like Mass Effect is a great game, and Mass Effect was like a lot of people loved it, but like the ending to 3 really burned the community, and I was like, there's no way that they're going to put any effort into remastering Mass Effect right now when they need a banger. They needed a banger, and but then they released this and they're like, no changes, just HD remaster. But I mean, I guess there is changes now, but you know what I mean. It's like it's an HD remaster and it's it looks good in a way. So it's like, okay, I see what we're going for here.
The only changes that are made is basically the combat, I recall, and Miranda's ass, which I think you and me have differing opinions on.
Are they, or were they homogenizing the combat across all 3 games?
I think they're making the combat very similar across all 3 games.
So, they're just going to use the 3 mechanic across all 3 games, and they're just going to...
I think it's 2. I think they're trying to make it closer to 2, and then 3 is just going to stay the way it was.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, 2's combat was pretty good, but 3's was, like, really smooth. Mm-hmm. And Andromeda's was even smoother. Okay, that's the one thing I give Andromeda. Andromeda had really good combat.
Mm-hmm.
Jank as it was, it felt good to do things.
Mm-hmm.
2's was... Isn't that when they introduced ammo? Because 1 just had infinite heat sinks, but you had to cool instead of reload. And then 2, you had to reload.
Yeah. 2 is the game that you had to reload, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because there was the joke as you're shooting shit, one of your teammates is like, since when do we have to reload our guns? They're like, yeah, a lot of people were pissed off with that update.
I like that update.
I mean, you kind of had to reload before. It was just on a cooldown system instead of an actual reload, which, I mean, sure, whatever. But, I mean, I definitely 1 was the weakest of the 3, obviously, when it came to combat. But...
Yeah. Although my weird backwards opinion is I like 1 more, then 2, then 3, simply because 1 was just more RPG. And I was just liking it because of that.
Josh is just wrong.
Yes.
Ben, would you agree on this?
On what?
Josh is wrong. 1 is...
My opinion is my opinion.
1 is the second best, and 2 is the best.
No, I can agree with him there.
Okay. I'm in a room with idiots.
Wait, you think 3 was the best one?
No, 2 is the best.
Oh, okay, you're right.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I would argue that both of them are good, but they're both, again, slightly different games.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's my opinion. So basically mine is like, well, I like this, but simply because it's more RPG. And for the shooty shoot, I don't care for.
I definitely think 1 had, like... Okay, 1 was, like, the worst, like, voice acting wise. Most of that shit was pretty bad. But, like, the actual story and, like, the things that you could do, and then, like, the conflict of, like, being the character, like, I liked. Like, I definitely like 1 for this. The 1 pulls me in so much more than 3 does. Like, 1 and 2, like, literally just, literally just, like, grab you by the nuts and, like, you're gonna love this story. And I'm like, yes. But then, like, 3 is, like... we can't write for shit.
3 literally was like, they got to the end, it feels like, and then they started kicking yourself and kicking you in the nuts because they didn't understand. Like, they were like, how do we wrap this up? I know, Reaper Invasion. I know. And then the community came up with like a better series of events.
Yeah, the indoctrination theory was definitely way better.
Just make that canon. Just make it canon. Just say Shepard was getting indoctrinated. That would be great.
I would actually be okay with a 3 rewrite.
I would.
If they were going to like completely remaster the game, just go ahead and rewrite 3. I wouldn't mind.
Well, like they could easily do that, but it wouldn't matter.
They're not going to because they don't have the manpower for that. And the other thing is they're too busy focusing on making Anthem actually like not a piece of shit, and they're probably trying to figure out what game they need to do next. This is the real reason Mass Effect is coming out at all because they need the money. They need the money. That's the only reason this exists.
Bioware needs to prove that they're valuable, and this is the best thing that they could do. short of doing what is it? Knights of the Old Republic 3. This is the
Which
best
they
thing
can't
that
do yet because of the whole. Well, no, wait, they are with EA. So I mean, they could. I hear that they actually are working on something, but for Knights of the Old Republic 3, or they're doing a remaster of 1 and 2. I don't know. All I know is something Knights of the Republic is coming, which is
You know what?
yes, please.
You know, if only me and Josh were in a certain city right next to BioWare, and we could easily tap people who have connections. Good thing that I blew my connections, and Josh is too lazy to actually make those connections.
Yep.
How did you blow your connections?
Fun.
I screamed at the head of Game Camp and called him out. I called him a piece of shit. So now I'm like kind of afraid to actually join in the server and just be like, "Hey, yes, you remember me? I got mad at you because you're an asshole."
You know,
Even though
if I lived near you, Josh or Jeff, I'm sorry. I probably, if when I heard you have done that, I probably would have gotten up, got in my car, drove over to your house, and slapped you in the face.
rightfully
Physically.
so. You should have just taken my phone away. That would have solved a lot of the problems.
Yeah, probably. But I think you understand that some of the decisions that you make really frustrate me.
Yeah. No, it was a bad decision. I just said, don't talk to me again, please. I really don't. I'll block you and I'll mute you and call it a day.
Were you just having a bad day, man?
Maybe. I don't know.
It could be possible, but I don't know.
I make stupid decisions from time to time. I'm not perfect.
I mean, nobody is, but at the same time, it's like, you know not to scream at people, especially when you want to keep connections for, like, jobs and shit.
I work IT. I don't need to worry about connections with jobs and shit.
You say that until the day they figure out how to program a robot to do your job for you.
Working at IT? Oh yeah, but like the moment they do that, they're coming for the artists too, and it's going to be a fun day when that happens. Oh shit!
There's
there's no way you're ever gonna have a robot that can do art. It's physically it's literally logically and physically impossible.
Funny enough, you could do for art, but I think that let's say it gets to that level that it's competence. Yeah, it wouldn't be the same. It would be, you can look at it, and humans have an ability to look at something and can tell that it's off. Mm-hmm. And as soon as you can tell, you go, oh, robot, and you just go on to something else.
Yep.
Like, again, if that were to happen, and it got to a level where they're competent, they would just be like, robot, move on.
Like,
that's a human.
You have to think about it. Like, have you ever seen Star Trek? Like, the Next Generation?
Yes.
So, if I remember correctly, there's an episode with Data where he is in like the kid's art class or whatever, and he's doing like the painting or whatever. And this happens all the time, where it's like, somebody that's like, there's an AI or hyper intelligent. They detail recreate something, and it's like that's how AI and robots see art is meticulously recreating something. It's like, yes, it looks pretty, yes, it looks like exact, but it doesn't have the same feel that a human puts into art.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
you can maybe get an AI to create art, but it's not going to be art. It's just a picture in a medium that would be like oil or pastels or watercolor, like
something.
It's just a picture. It's not art anymore.
I'm just thinking of that stupid post on Twitter where I'm not sure if it was a car company, but it was like they're showing off their robotic arms and how accurate it is, and then I forget what the comments were underneath the stupid Twitter post, but people were retarded and going like, "Oh man, robots do art and yada yada," and I'm like, "No, what they did is just made a really elaborate printer."
Yeah.
Like, it's like, that's all they did. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know what your people are talking about unless you're fucking just fucking puppets for this fucking company. Like, Jesus. Yeah,
because they inputted an image and then had the arm recreate the image. That isn't a robot creating art, because you'd have to have an AI to like generate the art randomly or something to even consider that.
See, the problem is like by the same logic, like you wouldn't need system administrators or IT people because the robot would be able to figure out what's wrong with it, even though the robot would probably be fucking broken and going, I don't understand what's wrong with me. Please fix me, doc.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So like by the same, so like I could burn the bridge. The only thing I have to worry about is them coming after me and being like, how dare you be this massive asshole, and me just sitting there being like, I know how to fix your computer. I know how to fix your computer, motherfucker. I have the cards. That's what I have to worry about. This logic is really flawed, isn't it?
It is.
Okay. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna wait until after I ship a game, and then I'll probably apologize. But whatever. I'll just be like, yeah, I'm an idiot. Fuck off.
Yeah,
I get
I'm
mad
an
about
idiot. Oh, jeez.
Oh boy.
Hey, you know what? At least I'm humble.
Maybe.
Partially. Sometimes. No. Not all the time. Exactly 50% of the time.
Exactly 50% of the time.
I'm being generous.
That you are.
50% of the time, it works every time.
So I tried to play RimWorld this week.
Oh, you tried?
I got through about 5% of the opening tutorial, and then I stopped. So I can't talk about it. But Ben's here. Ben played RimWorld.
I'm playing RimWorld right now, and I just lost.
Ben died.
Yeah, I blame mods breaking and sending things that are too difficult, so I'm going to go with that.
Okay. So it's all Ben's fault.
All right, I care, bitch.
So
Freaking. Oh, keep going.
So for the 5 minutes I played, literally I booted up the game and Ben goes, what did you do? You were like, here's my mod list. Use this.
No, I was like, have you played before? And you're like, no. And I'm like, you want this. And I just linked you a mod list. I'm like, trust me, you want this.
So now I have to download it. Oh, sorry. There's a problem accessing the item that you talked about.
Oh, it's because you're not my friend, and I've made it friends only. Wow.
Okay. Okay, well then I'll friend you. I'll friend you on Steam.
I was gonna say, how are you not my friend on Steam?
I think I am, but I think it's probably because I have to check. I'm not logged in on Steam on my actual browser. That's what I think the problem is.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Mm-hmm. What with that? Yeah. Yeah, Ben played RimWorld. Ben enjoyed RimWorld. I played no other video games this week.
Ben enjoyed RimWorld. Hang on, let me get you a screenshot real quick. Where is it? There it is. I think I played it a bit.
Yeah, I think you did. Oh, I got another topic. I'm actually going to play Lancer sometime in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know.
That's a tabletop thing that Alan was talking about, right?
Alan and Rory, and I made a mech, and I made a character, and my character's glorious. My character is fucking glorious, Josh. You'll love it, okay?
Oh.
Okay, you'll love this character, okay? Am I sounding like Donald Trump?
Not yet.
Let me tell you about my character. He's the greatest character ever to walk the planet Earth. Okay? He literally got arrested to escape his wife's tyranny.
Okay.
He's a drunken... He joined the Lancer program based on a drunken bet.
Cool.
He's literally just Randy Marsh.
Did he dress up as Princess Leia and steal some really important radiation?
That will be implied. I will do that. I will dress up. No. I'll buy a dress and be like, okay, I'm gonna go to this karaoke bar and start singing.
You need that. No, you need to like steal something from someone, so it's a really important item. So you have to dress up as Princess Leia.
Perfect.
And then
I buy a dress.
And then you have to have a filler arc of maybe him having a day job as like something kind of boring. Although it's kind of important, kinda.
I'm a
I think Randy Marsh,
pilot, Josh. It can't get much boring than that.
But I mean, his day job, Randy Marsh, his day job was, what was it? It was a geologist.
Yeah, he was a geologist.
Yeah, so I'm like, you could do something.
And the best part is I made my mech. So Ben's seen this. So if you scroll down in general.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
He's a punching man. He punches things.
Punch.
He punches things. Roy called him Wankbot. And
Look at the punch.
Take my stone arm.
And I said, no, his name is Mr. Fister.
I'm sorry, that was.
It's Mr. Fisto.
No, it's Mr. Fister. And then Roy changed the
Damn
name
it.
to Mr. Lister, the Sister Fister. Mr. Lister, the Sister Fister. So.
I feel really bad for that joke I just made. I'm sorry.
You should.
Please forgive me.
I do. But it's okay. Has anyone else played any other video games this week?
I played Path of Exile a lot.
I played Spyro Reignited a little bit. I played. My timer says 45 minutes, and that's about right because I played everything in that first world, basically. So where you just jump right in, and all the dragons got turned to statues, and you're like, "Oh right, Spyro." And the one thing I just want to say about the Reignited is, holy shit, it looks so good. Like, oh, it's so good.
Does it look better than Path of Exile?
I would say so.
Okay,
I mean,
look, Path of Exile's performance right now is a problem, and looks is not the problem. It's the performance is the problem.
Yeah.
Granted, it's not that bad for me personally, but I mean the forums apparently people are fucking livid. So like something's not right. But apparently, I don't know what's going on with him, but apparently something was fucky during Heist League, which is like the one before this one. And then they took an extra month to make this one because obviously they felt Heist was a little rushed. This one launched well, but its long-term performance is failing. So, I don't know. It's like I said, like it's fine for me, but other people not so much. So I don't know. I have fun with it. It's all that I care about.
You enjoy murdering loads and loads of demons or monsters in a Diablo-esque game?
I mean, they're not demons most of the time, but yes, I do.
In a Diablo-esque game?
I like the build variety. It's just like, I mean, well, not meta build variety because there's literally two, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
There's just so much to the game that like I feel like I could like literally just scroll down the list, pick a skill, and be like, I'm gonna make a build around that skill, and then it's completely possible. Where like with Diablo, it's like you scroll through the skill list, and it's like I'm gonna make a build with that skill, and it's like, is there a set that associates with that skill? No. Sorry, you can't do that. That's why I hate Diablo.
Diablo was Diablo 3 was a disappointment.
Exactly. I mean, at launch it was even worse. Right now, I think it's in a playable state. Do I think it's fun? No. Can I complete Endgame in a week? Yes. That's not fun. Because it literally just hands you like a set, and then you're just like, all right, I'm gonna use this set, and then you use that set, and then you push like pretty decently, and then by the time like you get the whole set and like you've pushed like pretty decently with that set, you're A, bored of the build because the builds are fucking linear and boring. B, you have farmed every other set, so you can just switch the builds whenever you want, or you farmed a set for a class that you want to switch to, so you switch to the class, a level up, and then play again. Then it's like, and then you're done in a week again. It's like you literally spend a week a character. You can do every character before like in a month easily. Actually, it would take less than a week. You could probably push a character to like high tier stuff in 3 days. 1 day to level, 1 day to level up, and then 1 day to push, and you're done. And then there's nothing else to do because like once you're done pushing greater rifts, there's literally nothing else to do. Where like with Path of Exile, it's like, yeah, my progress I can like complete. I can like do deep into the maps and like complete a bunch of maps. But then there's all the extra like bonus league shit. Like, oh, maybe this character I focus on Legion with. So like you do Legion 5 ways and you farm Legion monoliths. I'm sure this all is going over your head, so you don't really fucking care. But you get the point. Basically, there's so much more endgame possible stuff compared to Diablo. Diablo has one thing, and then that one thing is so inferior to any one thing that Path of Exile has. Like, you can take any league mechanic and be like, this league mechanic has more depth than Diablo's entire endgame.
Stop making me want to play this fucking game.
And that's just fucking sad for Diablo. That's just fucking sad. That's all I have to say about that.
I'm interested to see what they do with Diablo 4, because then I can sit there and be more sad.
I can't care because Path of Exile 2 is going to be coming right on its heels, and if anything has proven that their upgrades to their current engine, if they continue this upgrade path, and if they keep moving along the way they are, Path of Exile 2 is going to be like the ARPG, and nothing's going to be able to beat it for a long time unless Blizzard really fucking steps it up. Like, their endgame for Diablo 4 has to be fucking incredible to even start to compare to Path of Exile. Path of Exile has had so much headway on them, and they've just stagnated with it because they were like, we're Blizzard, we're the best. People play our game just because we're Blizzard. And they're getting to the point where people won't anymore.
That's true. Yeah, no, you're 100% right.
I've ranted about it because Path of Exile is just a superior game. Even in its shittiest standpoint, Path of Exile is still a better game than Diablo.
Stop saying the truth.
And if you really want to play it, Jeff, I will help you play it. I will buy you, leveling uniques, and I will level a character with you, and we can have fun together. I will do this.
Good point.
What? There's fun? There's fun to be had? What?
There is fun to be had. Although he will look at the end game and he'll be like, how the fuck do I do this?
Well, the best part about that is, like, I've also played Halo MCC this week, and I'm getting back into, like, talking with other friends who I haven't talked to in, like, a long time. And it's hilarious because, like, I'll be playing games with them, and they'll be like, yeah, man, like, how's it going? I'm like, oh, yeah, everything's good, everything's great. And it's just like, man, I really want a game that I can just sink my teeth into and just not care anymore. I want to take a week off of, like, making the game for a week and kind of, like, just be like, I'm going to play this video game for a week and see what I can make. But I'm going to wait. But yeah, I might take you up on that offer, actually, Ben.
Cool. Just so you know, once you start and you start liking the game, you're going to be like, I want to buy some microtransactions. And then all of a sudden you're like, I've spent $200 on this game.
No, that's Josh. I'm fucking...
No, the thing is if you want to play the game seriously, you're going to have to probably put at least like $20 into the game.
Oh.
That's the other only downside because your stash is super limited. You only start with 4 stash tabs, and it's 4 basic stash tabs. In order to trade with other players, to trade on the website, you have to have a premium stash tab that you set to public. So you have to spend at least some money to get that. And then the thing is, maps don't stack because you can roll maps like you can roll items. So then you have to spend your currency on your maps. So since maps can't stack, I have hundreds of maps, and it's like the stash tab is not large enough to hold all those maps. You have to buy a map tab. You have to have a map tab. The next thing is you get so much currency that you can't fit them all into your stash tabs. So then you have to have a currency tab. So the mandatory minimum is one premium stash tab, map, and currency tab. And even then, I would say that's not enough. I would say that you would probably need a couple more stash tabs just to like enjoy the game proper. So like probably like one quad stash tab, which is 4 stash tabs in one tab, one premium tab for selling, map, currency, and then like probably like a couple other random ones just to like keep your like space like clean. And then if you super enjoy the game after that, you can start investing in more stash tabs and MTXs and such. But like you're probably gonna put, like I said, like a minimum of $20 to like $30 into the game if you want to. If you want, once you hit end game, to like seriously start playing end game.
You're just making me scared.
It's just that there's a lot of stuff because like when it comes to currency, there's no gold. Currency is just consumable items. So you get items that will upgrade like white bases. So like you know how like Diablo has like the white, the blue, the rare, and then the legendary, and then the sets. So Path of Exile has white, rare, or white, magic, rare, unique. And you can upgrade whites to magic with an item. And there's an item that rerolls those, and then you can upgrade those into rares, and you can reroll that. And then there's and then there's really rare items that can add additional modifiers. So basically, like all of a sudden, like there's just so much currency that can do so much shit that it's just like you get bogged down with like all this stuff that like you need to keep to create items. So that's why, like I say, that like, you need a currency tab because there's just so much of it, and it only limitly stacks too. So like, Chaos Orbs is your main resource, and they only stack in 10. I can have upwards of 300 to 400 chaos at any given time. So you see how if it stacks in 10 and your stash tab is only like 20 by 20, I could have an entire stash tab full of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And I only have 4 stash tabs on a free-to-play player. You kind of see where the problem starts to come in.
Yeah, I see. This is sounding overly complicated and insane.
It looks overly complicated, but there's certain things that you can just ignore. Like, you can ignore crafting for, like, your early part of the game. Especially when, like, your first, like, league or two, you'll probably never craft an item.
Mm.
And it isn't until, like... quite a bit later. I would say probably like, and not until you like hit 150 hours, and so is when you'll start like actually like delving into crafting. I'm at 1,200 hours, and I'm like actually like seriously like doing some crafts. Like, so chaos is your base currency. So like a 1 chaos item is pretty cheap, where like a 50 chaos item is considered like low end, and then 100 chaos is considered your higher end, and then after that it's labeled in exalts, which is one of the rarest currencies. I am attempting to craft probably a 25 to 50 exalt item.
Sounds expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive. It's taking me like 1,200 hours to even get to the point of considering to do that. So you can see that, you probably won't even get to start doing that at all for a while.
Okay, so I'm hearing that I should start playing it now.
You can start playing it whenever you want.
Okay.
I'm just saying that if you want to take it seriously, be ready to spend some money.
Okay. I'll think about spending money on it, but I'm not 100% sure if I'll do it.
Yeah, your barrier to entry for endgame is going to be the money for quality of life purposes, or else you'll run out of stashes, and you'll just have to make bank characters to hold stuff.
All right,
so
fair enough. Josh, you played Spyro?
Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Well, the first game, anyways, in the trilogy.
Do you have anything else to say about Spyro Reignited?
It's so pretty.
Is that it?
It's that, and also, like, man, there's some control scheme stuff with Spyro that makes you go, fuck, I forgot how clunky this is. Like, the good example is the you just trying to platform from place to place in arid area in the 3D area. Is that, yeah, you're jumping around and you're doing stuff, but man, the camera gets in the most obtuse areas possible. And yes, you have free roaming control of the camera and you can move it wherever the fuck you want. But my God, there's times where I was like, man, camera, where are you? I kind of wish you could just center on an enemy and just fucking let me ram into the dude. Like, it feels like the game kind of needed a lock on and it never has one. So I'm like, meh, I guess that's kind of the, you know, the challenge of the game, quote unquote. But I'm like, fuck, I kind of wish you had a lock on.
Yeah, it's never had a lock on.
Yeah, and I'm like, it feels like the game should have had a lock on, and it never does. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. I'm kind of wondering if that was like a development decision or something, or it was just like, why would you need a lock on? It's like, you're targeting enemies constantly.
I think that's just because of like the design philosophy for older games like that. Because a lot of the older games, they had artificial difficulty because the you know, when you sold a game, there was no way to update a game afterwards, especially like in the early PS1 and PS2 eras, or even before that. The reason some games were so hard is just because they didn't want people winning, because they wanted them to keep playing the game. And because, like, if people bought the game, beat it within a day, they'd feel ripped off, and then they want refunds. So, like, when we made the game hard enough, people will keep playing the game, and then they won't get mad at us because the game was, you know, long. And it's like it's also because of the transition from arcades to consoles. The reason arcade games were so hard back in the day is because they wanted you to spend more money. So they couldn't. So it was a mix of they went from we need to have the games be hard enough that people want to like keep playing them, and then also because they're like, well, the standard was arcade difficulty.
Yeah. I mean, I would argue that even like during the PlayStation era, people were figuring out that like, oh, people want a story experience. People want an experience of like what, you know, dive into a game like you would to a book and like you explore this universe this person made. And yeah, like the previous thing that they had to go back on is just the freaking arcade stuff. And it's like, I understand that you people wanting their, you know, hour spent plus money dumped into equals, you know, feels fulfilling. But at the same time, it's like, I played short games, and especially Portal. Portal back in the day was like, what was it? It was attached with the orange box.
Yeah, Portal 1,
and that was like,
I think could be beaten in
like 4 hours, 2 hours, no,
like
3, something like that.
Some insane number.
And it's like, it was
pretty
like,
short.
I would say
it was less than 6 hours, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But like, I would say like, yeah, if that game is super short, but I'm like, if that game would have released by itself for $40, I would think people would be like, oh, it was short, but you wouldn't want any longer than that what it was.
No, because Portal 2 was quite a bit longer, if I remember, and that kind of started to drag on after a while.
Just a bit. Although it did like the, you know, the difference in gameplay, especially with the paint and shit. And what was the other game? There was another gameplay element, or was it just paint?
Oh, the bouncy paint and then the speed paint and that shit is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, there was the paint, and wasn't there something else? No, I don't think there was.
They added in like the catapults and stuff.
Oh, yes. Like the stuff you could do with the boxes and whatever.
Yeah, like you can launch yourself around the rooms and stuff. But I don't remember any major mechanics cropping up.
Yeah. Because I'm like, was there anything else major other than like just more portaling? Like, I guess that was probably it. But,
no, I don't remember too much more of that personally.
Although, if we're going to talk about difficulty, and especially in Spyro, the other difficulty spike in this game is fucking the flying missions you do. Mm-hmm. So in every mission, especially in every level, you collect all the gems, because a part of it is the dragon's horde also been turned into enemies. So you got to kill everything, collect all the gems, and then you 100% that level. That means you got everything, don't have to go back. The one level, it's so bullshit. I wish they redid. It was the fucking flying level, because guess what? There's a mission for, shooting shit off the train. There's a mission for flying through the gates. There's like 5 different missions, or 6. Those are not too terrible, and you can do them within the time frame that it gives you to fly around. The thing that sucks ass is that there's a little check mark for a little box that says completed all in one go. Fuck you. It's so fucking hard. Like, I'm surprised any fucking 10-year-old could pull that shit off back in the day. Like, oh god. Like, if there's one thing you can delete off the face of the earth, it's the fucking complete a one go mission. Like, fuck off. Oh god. Like, I do want to go back to playing Spyro, but I might just have to ignore the flying missions entirely until I'm like, let's try a few and see if I want to bother doing it. And like, maybe I'll even go to the point of like seeing videos and see where they go. But like, man, I do not miss that type of bullshit from back in the day. Do not miss it at all. Like, ugh, so bad. I'm sure you can like think of one thing from one game that made you just go fuck off. Like,
for older games, oh my god, I definitely think the one that I remember pissing me off the most was oh god, it's gonna show my age. The Home Alone 2 game for the Genesis, where you're in a hotel and you have to dodge like all the fucking like appliances.
That game's just not fair in general.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was one of those. That's the thing of like the older generation of stuff. Like, those games just like were not like intuitive to like to whatever. But like that game was just unfair when it came to that stuff, because like when you hit the end, right, there's like it's like a boss battle combined with like a weight thing. So like when you hit the end, you have to wait for the elevator, but you have to like dodge all this shit for like 2 minutes or something. It's like super long, and if you fail, you have to like you kind of start it over again, but you start over from the beginning of the timer, and the timer is really long. And that's what I remember. So I might be wrong, because like I said, this has been 20 years or more.
Like, yeah, like fucking there's also like, I mean, that's just part of the course for freaking old Nintendo / Super Nintendo shit. Like, people were just kind of figuring out like, oh, maybe you don't have to make it obtuse. Maybe you don't have to, hey, when you put the secret key in a wall, maybe you should put a crack in there or something, just so people know what's fucking there. Like, like you don't have to be like the most evil villain possible so people can never play your game. It's like, you built the game so people can play it. Like, not because it's so bloody obtuse and hard to no one play it. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I do. Yeah, there is a couple of gem games that I can think of that were like, oh, they knew that, the people who are designing this game and making it, they actually knew of like, oh, they know what they're doing, and it was actually a complete sandwich you can eat without any bullshit going on. Like, was it like Ninja Gaiden? I think that's the only example of like, it's tough as shit, but you can still do it, and it's probably a fun challenge to do.
I would maybe disagree with that one, but okay.
I would argue the last mission is really fucking shit.
I think like, Ninja Gaiden is a very, very, very difficult game.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think I could ever beat it personally, but that's just me, so, oh, man.
I think it's all just pattern recognition all the way towards the end, basically. Although there is one or two jumps that I do remember, like some YouTube videos talking about of like, there's always a guy going to jump from this cliff. It'll always fuck you up. You always have to backstep here, or else you will not complete this jump ever.
Yeah, at least there was some predictability to it. Unlike where like if you played Dark Souls, like there would be like, it's like, oh, there's a person here, but like he could either run at you and stab you, or he might not.
Yeah.
It was one of those. It might happen, it might not, and it's like, I mean, can we just like consistency would be fine. You know what I mean? Consistency would be fine.
Well, I can't wait to go back into Spyro and not touch the flying missions in the slightest.
No, you have to touch the flying missions, Josh.
Ah, shit.
You have to touch them. You have to touch them, and they're gonna touch, or they're gonna touch you back. Okay.
I have to touch them in inappropriate areas?
No, they're gonna touch you in inappropriate areas.
Oh, ass. And they're not going to touch it right either. I'd be like, no, stop. Oh,
No,
come on.
but I'll tell you what, you can, because you're watching getting touched in the ass, you can look at asses. So, anyways, I think that's a show, eh?
Yeah.
Well, that was a short one.
Yeah.
I mean, when Alan's here, we go for almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, he can go on and on and on.
Just
and
start
on
talking
and on.
Warhammer.
And on.
You'll be here until 12 a.m.
Yeah.
The next in the morning.
Ain't that the truth?
Oh, yeah.
On and on. On and on.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, everyone, for listening to Black Language Podcast, episode 285. Ben,
Oh,
let
damn,
me
I
know
got
if
2
you
in a
want,
row? Hell yeah, dude.
Ben, let me know if you want any free video games.
I will not do that to you. We are living in stressful times, and I will not make you buy me anything. And I will refuse to let you buy me anything, because that's the kind of person I am.
Okay.
Honest
invested
person.
in GameStonk. Okay, got it.
Don't do that either, please.
Here is one game stonk.
I hate GameStop, and I do not approve of you buying their stocks, even if it could get you rich, because fuck them.
Why do you hate me?
Just give him Dogecoin.
Okay.
I have
Tell you what. I'll buy weed stock.
Okay, you know what? If you get rich for saying I'm going to buy you things, go for it. You do you, man. That is the thing I will accept. I will accept you investing in yourself.
Yeah, well, it's funny because like I was talking to my financial investor, who I have to, which I do have to reset my password for them, by the way. But apparently I have 30 grand in AMD stock.
Damn, dog.
Okay.
Damn, dog.
boy.
Okay. Sure.
Like
Show
close
off.
to it.
I'm sitting
Well, I
here
bought
with my $30 and 10 of it's in fucking Dogecoin.
Dogecoin's not where it's at, man. It's not where it's at.
Yeah, man, I bought it when it was at 4 cents. Is that 7 cents? I made money. That's all I care about.
It's not where it's at. It's not where it's at.
I kind of want to buy some Dogecoin.
Josh, you want to buy Dogecoin
just
so that way then you can say I have Dogecoin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just get $30 worth and be like, yeah, I got my money's worth right now.
Yeah,
Also, my luck
looking,
is.
I'm looking to just invest in a little bit of crypto, regardless of whether it's Dogecoin or not. Probably some Ethereum and such. But it's just
Get off that U.S. dollar. You got to get off that U.S. dollar.
And then I'll probably get a little more serious in stocks in this year. But that's probably going to be.
I'm debating about putting all my money away in stonks.
I mean, don't do all of it. That's just
Yeah,
dumb.
you don't want to do all.
Or Bitcoin, because what's the worst that can happen?
Jeff.
You just buy the dips.
You just Jeff.
Yep, totally.
Jeff.
Totally.
That's not how that works.
Yep. You buy the dips.
Like, look, there's a difference between doing it smart and doing it like that. If you want to like buy in dips and then maybe do like, $50 a time, don't do that much.
See, the funny thing is like, yeah, you're 100% right. The thing that I do is like, I'll buy, like, the thing that you want to do is you want to buy at the bottom and then you want to watch it rise to the top and then you sell it at the top, right? So, but the problem is like, you can also do this thing where you buy when the price is going to dip due to somebody seeing there being a bunch of shitters, you buy then. Per se, if you catch my drift. right? So you buy the dips when you know that they're going to be shitters. So I'm personally going to probably invest some money into Ethereum. I just don't know when, but or Chainlink, but I want to see kind of what I can invest in. I don't really care though that much.
I think the big ones is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Light.
Yeah, Bitcoin is probably the one I don't want to invest in right now.
Well, it's still consistently going up. So I mean, like if it ever has another big huge dip, like when it hit like 30, 36, it dipped back down to 30.
Yeah.
If there's another huge crash like that, I would definitely like put like a pretty large chunk in at that because it's always going to rebound. I feel like Bitcoin will always rebound.
Oh yeah.
So if you ever see a huge drop, jump on that for sure, 100%, because you're gonna see 500% return fairly easily.
Yes, I'm probably going to do that.
But just disclaimer: we are not your financial advisor. Do not take financial advice from any of us.
Nope.
The only
have
financial advice you should take is from your go to a financial advisor. I personally recommend Edward Jones and yourself. If you feel comfortable with a stock or you like a stock, you can buy it.
If there's any Canadian listeners, to be aware, you will get taxed on your digital coins.
Yes.
Which I was not aware of. I was like, oh, you really? Huh?
You did not know this?
Nope.
I believe it happens in the States too.
You only to a certain amount, I believe, is when taxes actually start to affect a person.
I think that's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to read up on it again. But they're like, it can be taxed on your thing. I think it's based on, what was the phrasing? Capital or something?
Yeah,
something
stocks.
like
There's actually a specific tax rule for stocks that is like there's a certain like projected like income or something that you're taxed on or whatnot. I don't fucking remember. I know that as long as you are invested in a stock, you won't be taxed. But it's when you start taking it into your like portfolio is when you start getting the taxes. So if I remember correctly, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Do not take my advice for any of this or any of my potential knowings. I am super new to this.
Keep throwing up the warning. Please do not.
Yes, I do not want to get sued.
Well, no, you don't want to testify in front of Congress like deep fucking value. Which is still the funniest thing to me is deep fucking value testifying in Congress.
Yeah,
they're gonna,
oh boy.
That man's gonna be a fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I'm out to cover you guys and to cover myself, so that's all there is to it. Because I know there's some dumb motherfucker out there like Gorilla Glue bitch, that are gonna attempt to wring money out of somebody.
Okay, so you gotta tell me what the hell is the story with that?
Okay, girl.
So
didn't have any hair glue, but she found Gorilla Glue and put that in her hair to keep it in shape of what it. Keep it in shape, basically. And then turns out after the fact, oh, that's actually a bad idea to put Gorilla Glue on your fucking scalp.
So the entire top of her head is basically sealed now with spray super glue.
Yep.
Uh-huh. So basically it was like she put it on TikTok where like she's like, I ran out of my spray, so I put the Gorilla Glue spray on my head to hold in place for the day, and she's like breaking down. She's like, I washed my hair 10 times, it don't move, and then she went to the hospital to try to get it removed, and she's gonna attempt to sue Gorilla Glue for damages, but like. The problem is on the can it literally says "Do not get on skin," so I don't think she's gonna win that.
Oh, that bitch is a fucking moron.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a fucking. I'm not sure if the Twitter post was real. I'm pretty sure it was a meme, but it was like from Gorilla Glue with the picture of her going, I don't think we have to say this again, but do not put this on your skin, for fuck's sake.
Do not use Gorilla Glue for anything other than woodworking projects. Not even fucking bottles.
or crafting.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's literally do not use except for intended purposes, and it's just like, man, it's almost like when you hear about the McDonald's thing. The irony is
that one
apparently
that one is more legit.
yeah, that one's more legit than you think. But I mean, like when you stop and you think about it, all those warning labels. I have a saying in my family: warning labels are for the stupid people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because somebody out there is super dumb. And it also reminds me of the thing I was saying earlier with the sewing thing. Reminds me, if you've ever seen the Meet the Sniper video, it's like, as long as there's two people left on the planet, someone's going to want someone dead. And it's the same way with the money thing. As long as there's two people left on the planet, somebody's going to want their money.
Yep.
Because we are driven by money in some ways.
I'm sorry. Is there a cleanup in an aisle for in a Walmart? Let me slip.
Did somebody shart in the Walmart?
Someone put a shot glass on top of on an escalator.
See the fact
And
that
we're gonna try to sue the building.
see the fact that Ben just went, oh,
I just referenced a movie.
at that response. What I just said makes me feel so happy.
The people of Walmart website exists because of America. It makes me sad.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I hate about that website is that it's just the same thing over and over. Oh, yeah, same guy, same pants.
But the thing is like you're like, is that like actually like common? It's like, yes, it is. No matter where you go, there is Walmart trash everywhere, and it's just like,
oh fuck! I remember one Walmart trash here in Alberta.
I went
very specifically this the chick. Pretty sure she was probably gay or something, but the best mullet I have ever seen. Perfectly groomed. It was like I wanted to take a picture of this mullet because it's so perfect.
Mm-hmm. Great.
I mean, if you care, and if you care about your attire and hair, like, hey man, good on you, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of people who don't.
Yeah. Or freaking, you see the people with the mullet, but it's all matted and gross, and you're pretty sure it has bugs living in it.
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it.
See
and there's people. People say it smells.
See the best part about the thing about Walmart is like I only go to Walmart and then I feel existential dread and I hate myself.
I literally, fucking Christ! I only walk into Walmart when I like, I'm like out of options, and I just really wish a lot of the times that I didn't have to. Every time I go there, I'm like, I wish I didn't have to do this, because that place, it's excruciating when when you walk around there. It's like, oh my god, why
does this exist?
How do people work there? That's the real question. The place is soul draining.
Right.
I used to work there as a night stock, and even then it was shit. Like, I don't even have to deal with people, and it's still shit.
Mm-hmm. Is it like? I feel like that place is. I remember somebody was talking about how Walmart is literally designed to like not keep people there or some shit. I don't remember.
It's designed to push people out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the same way with most retail stores. They want you walking around in a circle, and then you leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I treat going there anyways. I just go for a thing and go, do you have a thing? No? Are you too stupid to find the thing? Yeah? Okay, I'm leaving. Bye.
Bye.
Are you too stupid to find the thing?
There was a time, I forgot what I was trying to find. Bluetooth dongle. Like the thing you connect to like your computer so you can have Bluetooth things connect to it. I was asking something like literally the person in electronics is supposed to be working there. Do you have a Bluetooth dongle? And they're like, Bluetooth dongle. Do you have one?
No.
Don't exist. And I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah, I went there. Going there for electronics is definitely like the worst fucking idea ever. They have next to nothing to start with, and then they're too fucking dumb to like even help you find it if you can't find it right away. Like I went in there once for fucking colored pencils, and they're like, I asked somebody. I actually kind of got like near them. I asked somebody where they were, and they're like, I don't know. Check the kids section. I'm like, I'm literally standing in a dog. I'm just like,
yep.
This hurts. Life is pain.
I mean, funny thing is, if they do have an employee that's actually good, oh man, they're not staying there.
No,
I mean, they're not staying there at all.
I mean, you want to talk about pain, man. I really hope that the Democrats go through with their criminal prosecution of Donald Trump.
Can we not?
I want
we were so
so
close.
much.
We were so close.
Nope, shut up. We're ending it. Shut up. Hit credits.
Game over.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Black Mind Games podcast, episode 285. You can listen to us every Thursday on blackmindgames.podwriting.com. Subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting of choice. Have a good night.
And slid underneath the door.
I also like what he did with the hair, and I have to adjust my audio setting because you guys are showing up in my recording.
Beep boop.
All right, I'm just turning mine on now, so don't forget.
Beep boop.
I like the whole like messy hair thing that he was doing when he was like, "We're gonna grow her hair."
We're gonna make her hair look so cool.
Yeah.
No, man, I actually, if you ever want to like watch a depressed Jeff, go back in time, become a fly, and watch Jeff at a certain club that he was a part of, and watch the moments where I would just end up looking at somebody's ass for like 20 minutes and just be like, this is glorious.
Just stare at the booty.
Look at the booty,
boy.
stare at the booty.
We now know Jeff is an ass man. Okay, we got it.
Actually, the things that I really liked Mass Effect for, it probably didn't do enough of it. It was just talking to aliens and their alien issues.
See, the problem is that Josh is like, right now, he's like, if I say anything wrong, I will get shot out of a cannon.
Oh, you know those the little short dudes with the fucking breathers where every time you say something they're like
Oh yeah.
They sound like they're constantly out of breath. Those guys are hilarious.
I just like...
Oh, I know. There's a mission where you find one and he thinks he's a god.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, that's adorable.
And he's fucking hopped up on fucking bionic drugs. He's like, I am a god. And he fucking like flexes the bionics and you're just like, I'm going to warp you in the next fucking Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, fucking, he like moves a crate or something, and you think like he's oozing sexual aura.
Yeah, he's like, witness my miraculous power.
He was a character just looking at him, going like, I could save him, or I could just leave him here, or I could send him out to die.
See, this is the reason why Ben should stream, so that way then I can watch and be depressed.
I did. The thing is when I first encountered him on my first playthrough, motherfucker, dude, why does this game hate me? I'm so. What is going on right now?
What game are you playing?
I'm playing RimWorld, and it's literally okay. So I got a raid that I literally couldn't beat, and thankfully a Man in Black showed up and saved me. Mm-hmm. And then I got a Manhunter pack of poodles that killed the Man in Black and killed my raccoon. But he damaged them enough that they all bled out. So there's that. Then I got another Manhunter creature, and then another Manhunter pack. So now I'm trapped inside, and I have a cold snap. while I'm trapped inside. I can't harvest all my rice.
I just like how like I was playing that game yesterday. I was like, I'm gonna start playing RimWorld, and Ben just goes, "You're playing it wrong."
I did not say
It's
you're
like
playing it wrong. I'm saying that you could be playing it better.
It's the same thing. Ben.
Same.
It's the same fucking thing.
Better does not. I mean, wrong does not always equal worse. There's just is better.
There is better. You're not playing the game with mods? That's wrong. Or that's better, if I'm getting that correct.
Okay, there's. I linked you the fucking QL mods or the quality of life mods. Those ones, literally, like, they don't change much. Okay, and there goes all my crops. I'm glad I have 1,000 rice in my stores. Anyway,
Nice.
so the quality of life mods, the only things they don't change anything per se except like the storage. I think that's the biggest thing that they change. So
Okay, well, I'm going to make a joke, and Ben's going to be very sad.
sure, go for it.
Okay, so let's sync, and then I'll make a joke.
Okay. I'm
So-
sure you want this in the recording, but all right, let's do it.
I mean, yes, I do. I do want this all in recording. I want this joke known because it would be funny.
Because it would be funny.
I'm recording already.
Yeah, I started as well.
Sync in 3, 2, 1.